Hey there, everyone. Just a rainy Sunday here, and I thought I'd just put a wrap on the end of the year with a little bow and talk about where the channel's going for the next year. Not going anywhere, don't worry about that. But, at the same time, I've been instituting some changes. For the most part, I'm going to try to cut back the videos, but also increase the quality. Mondays I'll be doing AJ and Hordak, looking at toys. That's going to be my primary toy content. I will still do an occasional, wrestling video. Again with AJ and Hordak, and it'll be, 3 or 4 figures at a time. Depends on timing and everything. And, I've been putting up some new stuff. I'm gonna go through this Marvel Zombies game. I know that's gonna pop up on Saturdays. Saturday's gonna be a free-form day. It's just gonna be whatever I squeeze in, whether it be a wrestling video, a game video, something along those lines. So yeah, and in case you have been paying attention to my socials, I started painting miniatures again. This guy is nowhere near done, but he's getting there. Zombie flesh is the hardest thing in the world because it's so layered, and I'm still deciding how to handle it. But anyway, that's being worked on. I don't know if I'm going to put that into the channel too or not. I may not. I mean, I'm not the best painter in the world, but still, may as well just show you what I'm doing, right? It doesn't hurt, I don't think. Maybe it does. Who knows? But yeah, I was working at a very feverish pitch, and the problem was that the videos I was making I wasn't happy with. So I started thinking about, what do I want to do? And there are some things I want to touch on. There's some actual, honest to God, real videos I want to do about subjects I want to touch on. And just doing toy reviews every day, you don't get time for that. So I kind of put the brakes on, not getting rid of toys in the slightest, nothing like that. It's just, there's other things to talk about. I've had internet troubles for months. They have cleared up, finally. Again, if you follow my social media, my daughter was in the hospital, though. She is fine. It was a combination of a virus and some undiagnosed asthma. She has had breathing treatments and medicines, and now she's doing really good. So, that did put my live streams, cut them off for a little while because, my daughter was sick. I didn't say anything to anybody about it. Because we thought it would clear up in a couple of days, and yeah, it was a lot more serious than even the doctors thought. So, we had taken her to the doctor twice, and nothing wrong. Then all of a sudden, oh, everything's wrong. Yeah. But she had to spend a week in the hospital right before Christmas. Got out the day before Christmas Eve, and was a happy day for me and my wife. Believe me, we were just exhausted. My wife had to stay with her the whole time because she was underage. And, it was rough on her, but, again, it's what you do as a parent. So that's where we were at. Anyhow, that turned out to be good. And, now we know things that we didn't know earlier, so we know what to watch out for. That's what you do. When you have a kid, you find things to watch out for. So, and I did this very impromptu. I just finished up a Star Wars video. That's why Bo and Princess Leia are here. I just finished the principal photography, and I should have it done by tonight. And that should be up Monday, which is tomorrow now. Will be 3 days ago. For the most part, I'm going to try to make my Thursday videos something a little more concentrated, something I want to touch on. One of the ones I'm working on right now, and I'm not even close, is a little bit about Watchmen and how it changed things, the comic. No, I don't call it graphic novel because it's a snooty way to say comic book. how it changed things, and maybe not for the better. We'll get to that. I don't want to spoil the video though. But I'm working on that. I got another one called The Toy Apocalypse is Nigh. Some other stuff, and then I wanted some wiggle room just for something like this, something impromptu I wanted to do. Like, I want to talk about the channel. I want to talk about what is happening, what you should expect in the near future. So, you know, for the year, I mean, I'm just going to concentrate on content and try to get some decent content. And hopefully, you know, that'll resonate. I noticed AJ and Hordak videos are not resonating, but it's the time of year too. This is December, and views always go down in December. It's sad. But, you know, we'll see what happens through the winter. And, you know, popping in on live streams where I can and just saying, hey guys, what's up? And hopefully you guys see me and say, what's up? And hopefully, I mean, you know, once I get my live stream started back, my plan is not this week, but next week, I'll start doing lives again. I have no idea what I'll do. I'm going to do a test one just to check it out, and then we'll go from there. I also need to figure out some equipment issues. My mic is not working. I don't know if it's the mic or the computer. I haven't figured it out yet. The port which I plug it in at seems to be working just fine. So it tells me that's the mic, but then I plug in my backup mic. That's not working either. So that's really weird. I don't know. Something to do with the mic settings in the computer that I have not figured out yet, and Google is not being nice about troubleshooting it. So there's that. And yeah, Lord knows, I probably did some test lives and I didn't even know I wasn't being heard. So yeah, well, you know, that's the shit that happens when you try to pull this stuff. Last couple of lives I've done, I've just been using a laptop mic, and you know, I think everybody picks me up just fine. I tried to do some videos with a laptop mic. That didn't work, so I started using this mic, and that seems to be working better. It's not great, but it's not terrible. I will say, trying to do Hordak's voice on this one without it picking up my heavy breathing, because when I do that one, I kind of have to stop and breathe, because it really does strain it strains everything. Strains my nose and my mouth, and you know, once I get done with a sentence, I gotta go and then, you know, I can't tell you how many times I've had to cut my own heavy breathing out, because it's like, yeah, you do this and it doesn't feel good. I mean, the things I do, right? Yeah. But I also try to make sure I don't record more than one video a day with that voice, because doing that, one thing I discovered is doing that voice for multiple videos is very draining. I can do it, but it's very draining. So, yeah, there's that as well. One thing is, I do like to keep a head, and I'm just barely keeping up right now, just barely. But I should be able to get ahead soon. And then, you know, once I get ahead, then I have a buffer zone, and then I can work with that. So, yeah, there's a little bit of franticness going on with the channel, but not majorly. I mean, it could be worse. We'll say it that way. I posted about my finds, and again, this is just stuff I'm working on right now. You know, I found Merman, found that Skeletor. I may start a Skeletor collection, I've decided. I have collections of all my favorite characters, and there's not many. I mean, it's like Thor, Cap, Iron Man, and I never stepped out of that Marvel box. Well, no, I take that back. Luke, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage. You know, but I never stepped into it with Masters of the Universe. So I bought this Turtles of Grayskull Skeletor. It's kind of my inaugural Skeletor collection one, because I have this one, the Masterverse, the cartoon origin, and the original vintage. And I have a 2000X one. It's the only 2000X I kept. And I just started thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to start collecting some Skeletor figures and just, have a Skeletor collection. I think that would be fun. So there we are. That's next on the list. Dipping my feet more into Masters of the Universe, as you can tell, as Zodak and Merman over here. I had stepped out of it for a while because of that Ram Man. The Masterverse Ram Man, when the legs started ripping. I was like, nah, I'm done. And the cartoon collection did drag me back. And I'm grabbing some things on clearance just for fun. I'm grabbing some things just for fun. I don't know how deep I'm going to go into Masters of the Universe because I like Masters of the Universe. It's one of the, to me there are a couple of major brands. G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Masters of the Universe. Those are the big three to my mindset. And I've been kind of ignoring Masters of the Universe for a while. So maybe I'm leaning more into that because I'm seeing the, Joe is the anniversary line and the original 3 3/4. You can like classified all you want. To me, that's not G.I. Joe. That is my augmentation to Action Force. And I've really got all my augmentation to Action Force I need right now, so I'm kind of like going, I won't say I'll never buy another classified figure, but, I'm still waiting on Doc and a couple of others to get here, but, once I get those, I probably won't be doing as much classified stuff. I mean, I've got a couple more I need to do because they slipped by in the ether, like Bazooka and a couple others, but for the most part, that should be wrapping up soon. And then, of course, also for me, Star Wars is the vintage, legacy, vintage collection type. I got some Black Series just like I did with Classified. I mean, they're all OT related. Obviously here and here. And, obviously Bo-Katan is not OT related, but I do have the vintage collection version of Bo-Katan. I kind of like Bo-Katan just because it's Katie Sackhoff. So, I got the credit collection version, which looks just like the regular to me. I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'll get that, and then, I don't know what I'll do with her, but I'll get that, and then, there's a few odds and ends after that, but yeah, for the most part, I don't dip into Black Series very far. It's not that I don't like Black Series, it's just, the OT is where I'm at, and then the rest of them I just don't care, and I really care more about the vintage collection. For the most part, as far as 1/12 scale goes, Marvel Legends and Action Force and Animal Warriors of the Kingdom are my main ones. There's some Jada stuff I'll grab. Again, I wish there was a DC 6-inch line. I would be all over that. But there's not. There's a 7-inch line from McFarlane, and I see some of the larger figures, and I kind of go, maybe I should get that, and then I don't. I've gotten a couple in the past, and I don't know. I mean, it's just not. It's not a scale I want to get into. Even though I do buy Marvel Selects for the larger ones too. So, there's that. But I mean, for the most part, I'm kind of this mindset of, I really want a 6-inch line for the DC, and then I'll be happy. But Masterverse and Origins, I avoided that as much as I could, but finally started getting into those, and then those are kind of coming together. Trying to think of anything else. 112. Some Savage Crucible, some Mythic Legions, and I'm not heavy into either one. So, it's here and there. I've said my piece about Mythic Legions on my thoughts. It's not that I hate them, I just think they need to improve. And some ways they look like they're improving, but, some ways they're not. But I'm not going to dive headfirst into that line either. Just because, you know, they do a little bit of improvement. So yeah, so my top lines, I'm slipping out of Marvel Legends a bit because they just about covered all the ground they can cover with me, although I'm still waiting for some stuff to ship. Man-Thing, Power Man and Iron Fist, Ghost Rider. Yeah, you know, those are still on the list of needs to show up. But, you know, besides Ollie's, I mean, and occasional other stuff, I just kind of don't go far into that. But Marvel Legends, Action Force, there's nothing slowing down on Action Force for me. So, wrestling, WWE, I might be slowing down on that because I think I got all the guys I wanted to get that they're putting out. I might be wrong on that. We'll see. But I've got Eddie. That was a big one off the list. Eddie Guerrero is not my favorite, but he's been in some great matches, and I did want an Eddie Guerrero in my collection. I mean, I wanted Dean Malenko and Perry Saturn too. But, you know, we'll see. I haven't seen those guys being put out, but, you know, we'll see. I'm sure Perry could use the money. But, you know, this year I finally got my Outsiders. So that was a plus. And, I mean, that was the biggest one on my list was the Outsiders. And boom. And there's another set coming out next year, and Muda's coming out next year. And past that, I don't know. So we'll see where that collection goes. I'm going to get some variants of AJ just for the channel. I got a couple of projects I'm keeping close to the chest that I think are going to be fun, and I hope will be entertaining and maybe draw a larger audience to the channel, but we'll keep the core audience. So we'll see. I don't know. It'll depend. And if I can ever get to the point I straighten my shelves up, because I did my top 50 favorites the other day, and then in doing so, my shelves that I just rearranged got destroyed up there. You know, so I'll see what I have to do about that, and, you know, maybe I'll do a quick shelfie tour or something like that. I also hope this year that I get to move into my office, my real office, and put up my dedicated shelving, and then I can show much more of my collection. Because to me, that's going to be fun. And if that happens, I'll probably document it and post it, because it'll probably be fun. Still, you know, that's not finished. The only other thing, this happened, and I'll just talk about it here. I did talk about it in my post, but somebody gave that to my daughter, and the truth is, specifically this part, that's just too small a piece for my kid. Yeah, she's got hands too, I think. You know, person meant well. They went by a toy giveaway, and that was some stuff they had left, so she brought it to my wife, and my wife pulled that out and was like, yeah, I know what that is. And so my wife handed it to me, and she said, what do you think? I was like, huh, you know, I remember those, but I never really looked into them. And I started looking into them, and I got a really good deal on Daniel and Miguel. I'm not Daniel and Miguel, Johnny and Miguel. And Daniel doesn't seem to be that high priced. I'm probably going to finish that off and just do a video on it, because it just kind of fell into my lap. I like this figure better than I thought, though. I mean, she's not the best figure in the world, but I like it better than I thought I would. So, you know, not the best likeness of the actress, but, you know, then again, it's Hasbro. We know how they do. I mean, they still haven't gotten Mark Hamill right, so. And I was impressed that she has double joints instead of singles like most women would, so. I was a little disappointed how small the line is. It's there's 4, and not including the skeleton one, which I'm not going to include because that's kind of lame and it's an exclusive, and I just don't care enough to get all of them. But I'll get a few of them, and then, you know, I'll do a video on them and be done with that. And I don't know where they'll go, but, you know, they'll go somewhere. And yeah, I mean, you know, continuing toy adventures. You know, Toy Ventures will always be part of this. There's some comic book stuff I want to touch on. Not exactly specific comics, but things in comics I want to do videos on. There's things in movies I want to do videos on. There's things in all media I want to do videos on. And, you know, I want to do that this year, and I just didn't do it. And this year, well, now it's last year. So now this year I'm looking around going, you know, I should just do that. I should just be doing that, you know, because this Marvel Zombies game sitting here for so damn long has really bugged me. And I'm going to get that out of the way. Because, first off, I want to play the damn game. And second off, you know, I need a little room. So that getting moved is the next priority. Deciding what I'm going to get in the Origins cartoon collection and anything else. I'm just deciding on that and being done with Origins real quick, because I'm not going to get the whole line of Origins. I'm not going to try to complete the classic line. I'm just going to grab things I like. You know, that first 2 years maybe, that was when I really loved Masters of the Universe. And I'm thinking maybe that will be my limit right there, is the first 2 years. Just characters from that first 2 years. Those were the ones I really loved. Those were the ones I really gravitated towards. Those were the ones I really had. I know that includes Lords of Power, which means I'd have to grab those. So, we'll see what happens there. But still. I got several upcoming videos, toy related mostly, but you know, some people are going to get mad, some people are going to be glad. You know how it goes with me. But anyway, I did want to wish everyone a happy new year, just to talk about the channel, talk about where things are going. So basically going to be down to 3 to 4 videos a week, you know, maybe a one unplugged video like similar to this, where I just jabber and yammer and sound like an idiot. And then, you know, some other videos that, you know, I'm not going to use any 14-year-old girl chat filters or FaceTime filters, we'll say it that way. Nothing along those lines. But, you know, more lives, more fun, and hopefully, you know, more people can join in, and we'll have some fun. But anyway, rough rundown. Sorry I'm not getting too detailed, but, you know, again, things are in their infant stage and are being built up, and he's been in my brain for a while, so, you know, I've had time to sit on them and come up with some, and, you know, the only thing you can do is make the channel better, right? Okay, well, that wraps up this little yammering I had. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, if you're not subscribed, you need to, because things are getting interesting. But either way, take care.